Well, hello, welcome to the Cruise Diary for Friday and the weekend. The big story of the week, of course, has been the Carnival Splendor, the cruise with all the spam.
Egg and bacon, egg, sausage and bacon, egg and spam, egg, bacon and spam, egg, bacon, sausage and spam, spam, bacon, sausage and spam, spam, egg, spam, spam, bacon and spam, 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 egg and spam, 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 baked beans, spam, spam, spam and spam. Oh, lobster thermidor, crevettes with Mornay sauce, garnished with truffle pate brandy and a fried egg on top and spam.
Couldn't resist it. Well, anyway, it turns out that that aspect wasn't quite the case. Carnival never ordered it, but their supplier puts them on the pallets anyway, and that's how we got the pictures of all the spam being sent. Anyway, the ship is now back in San Diego. The passengers are all off. They actually seem to have taken it all very, very well. I mean, they're getting compensation, a free cruise and their money back and all that. But there's not been as many complaints as I thought there would be, which is good, because Carnival did all they could. Now the investigation is on to find out what happened. There are 2 engine rooms on the Splendor, front and back, 3 engines in each. And a fire in one engine, in the aft engine room, shouldn't have knocked out all the systems. So there's a huge inquiry into that, and I'll bring you news of that. But I'm just glad that the spam-tastic cruise is over at last. Now, there's been another big ship story this week, of course. That's the Allure of the Seas from Royal Caribbean. She's arrived in Fort Lauderdale. Massive welcome. As you sail into Fort Lauderdale, you go past all these apartment blocks, and the people who live there, they're all cruise nuts, I think, because they shout, they wave the cruise line's flag. I was sailing out of there once, and one guy even on the loud hailer was telling us all, don't forget to go to the so-and-so restaurant on the ship, it's the best one. Brilliant, great welcome. Anyway, the Allure got a superb welcome. Tomorrow, Saturday, she'll be meeting her sister, Oasis of the Seas, joint holders of the biggest ship in the world title, except Allure is longer by 5mm. But they'll be meeting. Oasis is coming in at the end of one of her cruises around the Caribbean, so they've got to get the Allure out of the way, basically, because this new terminal, Terminal 18, is fantastic, $75 million. But there's only room for one of these huge ships. So Allure's going to disappear for a while, but they're going to meet in the Channel. What a great photo op, because the chances are they won't meet again, because one of them will be turning around on Saturdays, one of them will be turning around on Sundays. The chances are they're not going to meet for quite some time. Anyway, that's tomorrow. There's been another great meeting earlier this week in Southampton, and that was the Queen Elizabeth from Cunard, the new one, meeting the Queen Mary II for the first time. Now, as always happens, unfortunately this happened in the dark, but nonetheless, as you can see, it was quite an event, and as always happens, the 2 captains, they just couldn't keep their fingers off the ship's whistles. It's a fantastic sound. Some news that has just come out today, and that's P&O, the Oriana. She's going to become kid-free, an adults-only ship from the end of next November, November the 30th, 2011. And the reason for this is that the Artemis is leaving the fleet. Now, she's an adults-only ship. Her replacement, the Adonia, is smaller. She's only got 700 passengers. And although she's going to be an adults-only, they figure that there's not enough space. So they're going to make the Oriana adults-only as well. They'll be converting the kids club, which is actually quite good on the Oriana, but they're going to convert that into to some other use. And don't forget P&O, they've still got the Ventura, the Oceania, and in fact the Allure, the new one. That's okay for families too. So that's the big change for P&O. That's at the end of November next year. If you've already booked a cruise beyond that date and with the family, P&O will be in touch, or your travel agent will, and they'll be either putting you onto a different cruise if you fancy it, or you can get your money back. Now that's about it for the cruise news for today, but I wanted to leave you with one thing. You know when sometimes your cruise will miss a port of call and everyone's disappointed, and it's I only came on this cruise because we wanted to go to whatever place. Well, there's a great blog posting by Captain Albert Schoonevik. He's on Holland America Line's Prinsendam, and they had to miss the call in Naples this week. And if you read his report of it, you'll see all the decision making, the process involved in deciding to miss a port, because it's a major decision. I mean, quite apart from the passengers, there's money, there's fees, there's fuel, there's all sorts. Anyway, have a read of it. You'll find it on the blog there. I'll see you on the video a bit next week. Stay in touch with my website, I Love Cruises. I'll keep you up to date with cruise news all through the weekend, and keep reading TTG for the trade news too. Sophie's working her little feet off. I'll see you next week. Have a brilliant weekend. Bye bye.